Hello, good evening, welcome back to the channel. This is Rolling Swarm, and you join us, well, you join my starting soon screen, but let's see if I can magically appear. Good evening. You join me this evening for the third and final stage of the Money Blaster Open Tournament on the EU server. We're using our quiet indoor voice as per, and I've just realised my green screen is once again it's just a little too short, but such is life. Anyways, while I faff around with something that I should have fixed before we started the stream, good evening, I hope you're all well. Just to clarify, we're going to be following Endgame this evening, and we should be getting a tournament invite through in about 7 minutes or so. So I'm going to, I'm not going to be doing too much. We're just going to be sort of setting up, talking about what we're going to be seeing this evening. So if we go through to the tournaments page, this is the final stage of the Open. Now what we do know is because Wargaming have chosen to make 7 full groups of 4, we're going to have 14 teams going through into the final tournament of the Money Blaster. It's kind of like the Open is like an Ascent or Prove Your Skill, a qualifying series. The final tournament is going to be like the main event. Now that tournament's going to have 16 team slots, so we're going to find out 14 of those, and it probably means that teams knocked out today in 3rd place are potentially going to have a chance to fight in a last chance tournament to see if they can get into that final tournament. So it is worth bearing in mind that the top 2 teams from each group will advance. We've got 7 groups. There is no there's no easy way to say it. There's a lot of talent on the field here this evening. We're following the fates and fortunes of Endgame. Endgame, one of the top favourites in the tournament overall, and they have been a very, very strong contender on the EU server now for a number of years. You should recognise all of the names. Certainly there's some huge names in there: Winch, Orca, Carolade, Nicolade, Last AFK, the Blue Steel, Romka. This is a pure top tier, top talent team. Up against them, it's more Super Unicums, not quite on the calibre of Endgame, but certainly in this best of 3 format, it's going to be, there's nothing can be taken for granted. Endgame, sorry, and Loka 2 in their group. We almost saw Loka get knocked out on Wednesday, day before yesterday, but certainly Endgame are going to have to work very hard to make sure that they come up trumps in all of their matches. And I believe that coming top of the group will give them optimum seeding moving into the final tournament week after next. So we've got Hate, and there's some names in here that I'm sure you'll all recognise. Cash, who is a bit of a new one to me, but there's lots of talent here. And then at the other end of this bracket we've got DIS. Also not really recognising any names, but that could just be because I've been out of the scene for a while. Awesome source. So that's our group. Of course there's other tough groups. I mean all the groups are tough. Sparta, APA, IMOR, CIS, ZGS, Chise Raiders, First Alliance, Be Still My Beating Heart, old tournament clan on the EU server. We've got more IMOR, Serenity, Jones, Reti, Turks, Demo, Phoenix, Loka, Vale. Ooh. Good luck, of course, to Fujit. I think is Fujit still in this? He is. Good luck to Vale. I know that they've worked pretty hard to put together a team with this Money Blaster, so I'm sure they're going to have their work cut out for them in that group. With Rick Deckard from Asp as well. So yeah, it is the format. If we can just have a quick look. I keep my eye on the time. Still time for that invite. Don't want to miss it. That's the trick. A double elimination. Oh no. Thank God. It's not a best of 3, it's a best of 5. Amazing. So the pressure is off for higher seeds. Best of 3 opens you up a bit more to the vagaries of chance, the odd ammo rack here and there, and that's something that's been discussed on the official Discord server tournament channel. There were some upsets from the second stage at the Money Blaster Open, and the best of 3 is a part and parcel of those upsets. You know, it means that, like, you know, the vagaries of chance can have more of a say. But of course, the more battles you play, the more skill will come through as a key determining factor, rather than events of the random number generator, RNGesus, our Lord and Saviour. So, it is a best of 5. Apologies for my missed communication earlier. Speaking of communication, of course, I'd just like to say I've got 10 battle passes for March to give away per stream. And that means I've given away 10 in the last one. I'm going to give away 10 in this one. Check the pinned message in the chat. Basically, at the start of each battle, I'll announce when we're opening and closing in the chat. But I'll take predictions. The person who predicts the damage most accurately, and the person who predicts it first, will win a battle pass for March. One battle pass per player. You can't win more than one, I'm sad to say. I've got 10 to give away on this stream. The winners of last stream's battle passes, I've put an announcement up on my Discord server. To claim your battle pass, you just have to get in touch with me on Discord. Let me know your in-game username. If you're one of the winners, I'll find a way to work it all out. It's going to be a hot mess, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we're waiting for that invite now. Should be coming through any minute. Greg Owens, ASMR tank battles. Well, my God, I sound like a broken record. I would love to be shouting. I really, really would. But my 1-year-old daughter is upstairs sleeping right now. And if I'm too loud and she wakes up, this stream is over. So you're just gonna have to enjoy the ASMR tournament stream until such a time as as my daughter can go for a sleepover at Anne's house. So let's get cracking. We're in the room. Let's give them some privacy for a few minutes. The stream's running on a 3-minute delay, and we are ready, which is good. But basically, with the 3-minute delay, there's the potential for some stream sniping early on, so I don't want the teams to sort of take liberty of that. Not suggesting that they would, but they might be foolish not to. Best of 5, not a best of 3. Just having a quick look at the chat. So yeah, you've got 3 minutes. Damage predictions now. I'll put that in chat. We'll close that in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Super, super, super. Thank you, Greg. I'm glad that you that you understand. That's good. Let me just check my. I am running with a delay. Okay, thank God. That would be pretty interesting. We'd have to reboot the whole stream. So, also let me know how we are with the microphone and game. Ooh, Spitfires in early end game, 15,000 damage. It's a pretty good punt. And we just have a look. Yeah, it's end game versus Cash. It's a best of 5. First map, Fort Despair. Walker's going to take a stair VT. Guess he's that OP. Looks like some pretty good lineups. Endgame still formulating their roster. Cash with a pretty meta. I mean, IS-7 60 TPs, Concept 1Bs and Yos are the go-to heavy tanks. We have seen the Chromie Rangers in the last stream rock a pretty effective double mouth strat on Fort Despair. We know though Endgame, like Lokar, can play very aggressively and like a bit of pace behind their gameplay. Oh, ANP undercutting. Fantastic. Super, super, super. But it looks like Endgame are definitely the favourites, and I would tend to agree. Endgame, I mean, they're the favourites, one of the favourites to win the whole Money Blaster tournament. For sure. For sure. They come into this fixture as the favourite. But it's a double elimination, and the top 2 teams from this group will qualify. So really the pressure is just on to make it into the finals. Cash can lose against Endgame now and come back and lose to them again in the grand final, and it'll be alright. We have to see. We've got 1 minute to go. Mitaka is spamming the money with wings emoticon. That's pretty interesting. Excellent stuff. Yeah, we're getting some pretty interesting bids in. Endgame, clearly the favourite, but it's good to see we've got ANPs here. Henno Van Dam, one of our winners from the last stream. Henno, get in touch. You've won yourself a battle pass with your dad joke. Pirate Storm Barbosa. Yusuf draws the deal for real, another winner. Fantastic. Ice Jack, wishing everyone good luck, which is fair, okay. We're closed. We're ready. We're going in. Let's go. Let's kick off the third and final stage of the open part of the Money Blaster tournament. Endgame versus Cash. Away we go. Endgame with a hextuple, 660 TPs, and Moaning Myrtle. Get your Harry Potter references in while you can. In the Concept 1B, Cash, double 60 TPs, Concept 1B, triple IS7, and then M6 Yo. McFlurry Snickers, an excellent choice of beverage if ever there was one. Endgame, red team, North Spawn, up against Cash, blue team, South Spawn. Hit points, 3 HP difference. It is a big old heavy tank fest that we have here. My goodness me. Endgame taking pretty standard positions, and this is what you see. You're going to see these 1Bs. Well, actually we're seeing Moaning Myrtle taking a very aggressive position. Not as aggressive, however, as Cash. We're seeing Toxic Coffee, Foshi, and Brindzovaluski in the IS7 barreling in, but they are bleeding, but they're not trading poorly. Karolade and Orca are both bleeding, but Toxic Coffee is not something you want to find in your mug in the morning. He is having a really bad time with Foshi on the B area. But B has been capped. Cash will have the cap lead, and they're only 800 HP behind. Foshi's getting called. Winch has found Foshi. Does he have support? He can probably take him in a 1 versus 1 here. And it looks like there's going to be the first kill of the game. Winch will pick it up, and Endgame have that gun and DPM advantage. They're also extending their hit point lead. Caps not in consideration here. Endgame just chipping away. Karolade is low. Karolade potentially could take a big hit. Haluski not looking at him. And he gets there, and Endgame with Winch have got the flank. We've also been seeing a pretty key battle over here. And make no mistake, Last is doing a great job. Patrick, maybe not so much. Patrick not getting control of the corner. Last further in, getting cross shots in. Hit points falling off Cash. There's a solid 4k plus HP advantage to Endgame when they pick up their second kill. Down goes McFlurry Snickers. And Toxic Coffee, Cash are just really not going for the low hit point tanks. And this is definitely Endgame's game. I mean, it's a 6-on-4, but the hit points are more than 2 to 1. And you've just got to think that it's been Endgame just playing a methodical game, trading effectively. catching Cash out in the open. Down goes Nicolade. 4 on 4. I mean, Cash are going down swinging. I am Emperor. Turret popping off. Zach loves Rachel. Down to Moaning Myrtle. Last man standing is Haluski. Brindzavolski. I can't say that name for love nor cash. But Haluski. Yeah. This is a will connect. We don't understand what happened there. But it's a solid performance from Endgame. Dominant. We have a look at the damage. And it is 18,000 HP inflicted. So whoever got closest to that, mods, whoever got closest to 18,000, let me know. But Endgame, starting off today's campaign with a bang, with some success. We're going to go into the second map, well, the second spawn swaps, second game on Fort Despair, swapping the spawns. We'll have Endgame playing from the south, Cash playing from the north. Doesn't really matter. Fort Despair is one of the more symmetrical maps in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to say... So we've had our predictions open for the first game. We're going back in now. In 40 seconds. Endgame, if it ain't broke, change it just a little bit to keep everyone on their toes. Winch has dropped to 60 TP. And he's going into the object to 60, which makes me think that Endgame are going to make a more aggressive play for the medium corner using the speed of the 260 to grab it early on. Cash dropping the Yo. Leaning on quadruple IS7s with the Concept 1B and double 60 TPs. Not sure the aggressive push through B. Shuffley's. If Endgame win, Shuffley gets a battle pass. He's the only one. Amazing. Endgame, red team, south spawn. Cash, blue team, north spawn. Endgame leading Cash 1-0 in this best of 5 fixture. Endgame. Now this is the man that I am most interested in. I am completely mistaken because he's not gone for the corner. He's gone for what we might more assume to be the TD area, but we're seeing that quadruple IS7 strat. I am Emperor leading the rest of Cash over, and I am Emperor is just not low enough. He's not in an optimal line on the terrain. Just the top of the chassis peeking over, and he takes a hit, bounces another. And Haluski, Foshi misses Savage, and I am Emperor. Oh, great shot from I am Emperor into last AFK. Martin, however, is bleeding. The 60 TPs and Cash, this is the weakness of their strat, and this is where a great little mobile tank like the 260 is going to have a great day. Once again, exactly through the same fire line. Endgame have got a crossfire on Cash. Cash have to push through. They have to be hyper aggressive, but it's IS7's pushing in piecemeal into quadruple. Foshi just picks up an absolutely astonishing number of bounces. Can Cash burn down last Orca, shielding last? Great HP rotation here. Cash are bleeding. They are almost 5. They are 5 HP down. They've lost Martin. They're a gun down. Awesome play here. 60 TPs versus IS7s. Endgame struggling to pen Foshi. Nico. Oh, low rolls onto Haluski. Down goes last. Cash are giving it a pretty good run. Moaning Myrtle in trouble. Winch will finish off Foshi. And the hit points once again. Endgame just trading phenomenally. Nico and Bluestale finishing off Haluski. And it looks like Foshi went down. I am Emperor. Yeah, this is another good game for Endgame. Patrick shutting down Moaning Myrtle, but I think Cash are just pushing again. In both instances, I mean, one, they're getting outplayed mechanically and in terms of focus fire, hit point pool rotation, but two, Endgame have had a tank on the outside pincering in, and in this game it's Winch in the 260. It was a 60 TP in the last game, and Patrick will go down to Winch. Winch had a great game, absolutely superb. And that crossfire gives Endgame a lot of map and pace control. And Winch, I mean, you can see, like, he farmed very effectively. 2 kills, 3.7k damage. Fantastic stuff. So I won't run another contest just yet. But that was a superb, absolutely superb performance by Endgame. And they've just been, I mean, they're playing very well. I mean, you've got a lot of skilled players working in unison here. And they have delivered, well, they have delivered a pretty solid performance on Fort Despair, but we're now changing map. Endgame, although they're leading Cash 2-0, they only need one more win to take it, but we're going on to Black Goldville. Maybe Cash are going to have more success on a different map. Thank you, Slate8. I've taken a note of your in-game username and server. Much appreciated. Wargaming will be getting your battle pass to you in due course. I hope. It's all on them, but I've taken note. Thank you for letting me know. Super stuff. Now, can Cash hold on? Or are we going to see a clean sweep from Endgame? Not going to lie, I think it's going to be a clean sweep from Endgame here. They are looking very, very strong. Unassailably strong, one might say. I am that one, and I do say. However, we're going to have a little bit of spice here because both teams are bringing a light tank, the T100 LT, and I haven't seen this tank be used in tournaments yet, so this is pretty exciting for me. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And then both of them are in the 7. It's I Am Emperor for Cash in the T100 and Last AFK for Endgame in the T100 LT. Look at this thing. I mean, it's flatter than a pancake. It's like half the thickness of an A4 sheet of paper. The thing is barely even there. Last AFK going into it. This is a great spot in public matches, actually, truth be told, to get some early information in. And he has got early information in, but so has I Am Emperor. I Am Emperor spotted up a lot of the endgame team. Haluski takes a hit from Last. He'll remain spotted for the next 20 seconds. Remember, that is the mechanic, the tracer shell mechanic of the T100. And the tier 9 of this line is there. If you hit them, you don't have to pen. All you have to do is hit and you keep them. You can see Haluski just spotted for ages. Hit points, neck and neck. No one's going for cap pressure just yet. Endgame are playing very passive. Although there's a 60 TP and a 260 Orca and Winch, and Endgame may be in a bit of trouble here because Cash are stacked for a push. Endgame will have to rally. Carolee, Bluestale, Nico, Lost making their way up. A has been capped by Toxic Coffee. Orca, Moaning Myrtle. This is Endgame are in trouble here. They're getting pushed. Orca is now the focus of a lot of blue guns, and Orca will not be able to hold on for long, but Haluski and Foshi are bleeding. Endgame now will have to provide some covering fire. Orca's just barreling in. He's just really stuck, and he is down, and Cash take an early gun and a hit point lead for the first time in this series versus Endgame. They identified the tank. Oh, down goes Foshi to Moaning Myrtle, but they've lost. Moaning Myrtle to McFlurry Snickers, sorry. Cash doing really well. They've got a gun advantage. They are bleeding hit points now, pushing into Endgame, but Endgame have rallied. Carolee at the front, Bluesteel, Nico and Winch behind. Looks like Cash are finding their stride. They potentially could close this one off. They just have to keep the momentum up. Nico with a pro shot. No shade, Nico. we know you got skills. Karolait getting focused. Haluski looking for a rear shot. Bounces off the IS-7. Karolait hanging in there. Haluski low. Karolait surely going down. Haluski. Karolait won't get another shot in. Down goes Karolait to Haluski. Blue Steel getting double tapped. Nico looking for a shot into Toxic Coffee. Low roll for 4-5-1, but Toxic Coffee is now a one shot at 508. We're looking at a 4-on-6. 2 more guns down, and Cash have this one in the bag. 6-on-2 with the A-cap ticking over. Last AFK trying to, if he can shut down I Am Foshi. I mean, Nico is now... Ooh, no. Patrick is a... Patrick misses! Nico is surely in trouble. Nico is down. Nico, he knows it's all over. He knows. Nico, last knows. But he's not... Oh, I am Emperor. Where did that shot come from? And Cash put a point past Endgame. And that's why teams like Endgame are going to be quite glad that it is a best of 5, because, you know, Cash can beat them. And Endgame suffering a hit here. Cash, I mean, they caught Endgame. They caught Endgame off guard, and as some people might say that an Iron Fist push, a rush strat, is a little bit cheap. I mean, if you got the guts to execute it and you pull it off against a team of the caliber of Endgame, you deserve the W, my friend. And that is exactly what Cash have got here. We're going back into Black Goldville, swapping the spawns. Cash dropping a light tank. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, especially as it looks like Endgame are upping the ante and have increased their mobility significantly. Nico into a 907, double 50 Bs, glass cannons, huge burst damage potential, and they can hustle. Those things have got speed. And the armor profile, not going to lie, it's a bit troll at the moment. You can pick up some bounces where bounces shouldn't exist with that turret, with that chassis at the front in particular, especially in the pressure of a comp game. And though they can be a bit more durable head-on than you might at first expect, Endgame are looking to hit hard and fast and very aggressively here, and we could see maybe a rush strat of their own as they look to isolate and burn down lone elements of Cash early on. Yeah, Shuffly, don't worry, this is the Battle Pass is a Wargaming sponsored thing. So I completely respect your sentiments. Endgame, match point, leading Cash 2-1, second map. Spawn on Black Goldville. Endgame, very mobile lineup indeed. And they are running, well, probably the most aggressive setup that we've seen here on this channel in a while. Nico looking to get some spots in. Haluski spotted. Karolait caught early. Karolait's going for a very risky role here. I mean, he could be overwhelmed at a moment's notice. Haluski, ooh, getting tagged. Endgame establishing map control. Winch getting found, as is the Blue Steel. They've been spotted. Last is in that T100. Went in for C, decided C was not a good idea, and I'm not going to lie here. There's a 2k HP lead for Cash. They've got B. They're pretty well dug into C. Endgame are going to have to use all of their nuance. And Nico will be capping. That hit point lead is almost 3k now. Winch, Blue Steel, Moaning Myrtle, Karolait, all bleeding. Breeding? Good lord, no, that's not that kind of program. Bleeding significantly. Endgame looking to stack into C, keeping the middle well contested. Moaning Myrtle, lovely concept 1B in its element. Hull down with Carolade off to the left support. Nico can drop down in the medium tank at a moment's notice. Cash, on the other hand, we're looking at those 60 TPs relatively out of the fight, but they're going to have good lines of fire into the city. Endgame are pushing Blue Steel, Winch, Last, and Orca into Toxic Coffee and Foshi now. Blue Steel is very low, he's so low, he's gone. And Cash are looking... Oh, they were looking okay, but Orca petitioned RNGesus for some equity, and RNGesus said, you know what, yeah, fair enough. But down goes Moaning Myrtle to Patrick. That was a huge 1800 HP ammo rack. Last huge DPM on that T100 will pick off Toxic Coffee. Endgame might be the beneficiary of some RNGesus in their favour. Collect 200, pass go. Down goes Carolade though. It's a 5-on-4 hit points, still with a good lead, but not so much of a lead, but proportionately more of a lead. Nico in trouble. Nico running. Nico's safe, still spotted, and this is where the all-heavy lineup from Cash may run afoul, because although they've got the hit points, they don't have the mobility, they don't have the view range. They're up against a medium and a light tank. What they need to do is push in aggressively into the 50Bs. They need to shut down Winch. If they can push the 50B, they can push the other heavy. Winch is in trouble. Oh, Nico's down. Haluski and Emperor. Oh, it's an HE roll. Cash are looking good here. They've got the cap lead, and they are just, well, they've lost the hit point lead, well, the significant hit point lead that they had, but Winch is in all sorts of pensive trouble, and he is down, and now it is a 3-on-2 as Orca racks up another kill. Last and Orca now having to work in unison. It is 3-on-2, but the hit points are not hugely disparate. Last is very healthy. Last will just look to burn down Emperor. Zach loves Rachel with a huge ram into Last. Last looking for the kill, doesn't pick it up, bounces off the front plate of I Am Emperor, looking to get round to the side. He's got the mobility, he's got the DPM. Down goes I Am Emperor to Last AFK. Oh, Patrick shuts down Orca. Last with a big carry. And he's going between 260 TPs. He's going to have to play like an absolute beast. Oh, doesn't pick up the bounce. He's trying to use Patrick as a block between him and Zach loves Rachel. It's not enough. Oh, it's not enough. He can do this. He just has to. And now he has to run. Or is he going to try and play really aggressively Last, using every ounce of Super Unicum in his favour, looking to pull out a shot? He's the tank and the turret is shorter. Cash have still got the lead. Zach loves Rachel, looking for that. He just needs one good roll. Oh, that turret's in the way. The turret's in the way. Oh, Last pulls out the shot. Zach loves Rachel is on a long reload. That T100 reversing. Doesn't have a shot. Looking for the shot. Zach loves Rachel now using the corpse of this fallen comrade. Last in trouble. Last running. Last dead. Boom! Oh, a moment of indecision. And Zach loves Rachel will shut him down, but Last down to the wire. And Cash proving that they are no pushover, taking 2 past Endgame on Black Goldville. They did have an answer, they did have a play on that map, and we now go into a tiebreaker. The deal for real, from the last stream there were 10, there will be 10 from this stream. There was one winner, we've run 2 so far already, so we've got 2. I don't know who won the first one, but Shuffly 1992 won the second one because they were the only one that entered. And they got the team right, and they got the damage as closer than anyone else. So huge. I mean, Cash coming back from an 1800 HP ammo rack, really finding their feet. We're now going into Port Bay. Apologies if you can hear a cat yowling in the background. That is one of mine. Let's see, 30 seconds to go. Endgame versus Cash. Endgame sticking with last in the T100, and after that performance at the end of the other game, you can understand why. The man is a light tank fiend. Winch in the mouse, Moaning Myrtle, Orca, Blue Steel, Nico, 60 TPs, Carolade, IS7, Cash, putting Foshi, Mrs. Savage, and Martin in the 60 TPs, Vepro in the IS7 with Haluski, and I Am Emperor in the T100. Both teams taking that light tank, and we are definitely seeing the T100 with its fierce DPM, low profile as a good comp metal light tank. Move over Sheridan, move over Vickers. There's a new king in town for the light tank crown. I've just understood. The word is understood, rolling. You illiterate novice. Why Mitarka is posting money with wings because Cash. I have disappointed myself with my own lack of awareness on that emoji use. I apologise, Mitarka. Mitarka, clearly a Cash fan. Tied up 2 for 2. We're on the tiebreaker map here. Port Bay, endgame, red team, North Spawn up against Cash, blue team, South Spawn. Cash with I Am Emperor. Role playing as a mountain goat / grill. Spotting up everybody. Well, definitely spotting up Orca. I think Winch was spotted by someone else. Patrick is spotted in return. A getting quick capped, and this is one of the games where Endgame are taking the cap lead early on. And they have struggled, particularly on Black and Gold build with the cap deficit. They haven't been able to work past that. Winch in the mouse, 3-1-3. There's only one place that tank is going to be, and that is B. Winch on B, getting the cap in. Nice and early indeed. Cash with C, cap deficit. Pretty easy to understand where they are. Patrick will trade poorly with Winch. And although the tank is OP, it is not impenetrable. You can see the shot went in right underneath the gun mantle at center mass. Stunning accuracy. Hit points neck and neck. But endgame now can just entrench. And look at that. This is arguably, I would say for most teams, not what you want to be stuck in like a grid cell. But that is what they are. Last going in here. And this is a filthy position. It's very difficult to dig a tank out of here. It takes a lot of commitment in terms of field position and time to go and find someone and kill them in this sort of pile of gravel. And the T100 is mobile enough to just sort of nip in and out. And he's getting information. Cash, as the clock ticks down, Cash are going to have the pressure on them to make a move. And they know how formidable Endgame can be, and they've had a pretty solid run. They've taken Endgame to task on Black Goldville. But now, well, we're not on Black Goldville anymore. And they're going to have to work out what to do, and they know it's a trap. There's 2 caps. The caps are a trap. Endgame are just waiting for you to go into that city. And there it is. That's the damage. Just hit points will fall off tanks that push in there. And it's now opening. Cash have to push in. And Endgame are going to make them bleed as they push. Last and Moaning Myrtle pushing. A is getting counter-capped. Cash are aware of the cap pressure working against them. They are making an effort. They're getting A and B stopping. Last and Moaning Myrtle will take down Haluski. Haluski's basically gone. Winch in that deep mouse tank, barreling in, looking to get the cap neutrality and picking up some key bounces. Well, at least from the 1B and Foshi. Trading effectively, but A is gone. Now Cash can sit back on a triple cap. Haluski is somehow got past. Down goes Foshi, down goes Mrs. Savage. And I think Endgame are just going to push this over with kills. Nico not quite able to connect with Haluski. Haluski pulling a little Benny Hill sketch here, but Moaning Myrtle will definitely... No! He won't! He was 1 HE shot away. And Endgame are fearsomely... Blue Steel down. Endgame are on the edge here. Patrick down. Endgame pushing it over. Finally, Moaning Myrtle shutting down Haluski. Cash had a pretty good plan, just pushing into an entrenched endgame in the city on Port Bay is just not a fun proposition. And Winch, I mean, he went down swinging. If your mouse is putting out 3k damage before he dies, that's a well played mouse. Good effort by Cash, but it was pretty much an uphill struggle once Endgame had the cap lead and entrenched. A team like Endgame can really, really dig in. And that is 3-2 match point. And victory to Endgame. Double elimination though, Cash are not out. Let's have a quick look. There's also Amonet and Wild Ones Helper streaming this evening. So go check those out. And we can see Endgame will play Hate in 20 minutes time. Cash will be playing Dis imminently. That was for there, okay, cool. Let me just do the formalities. And that is, well, that is that fixture. Let's go have a look through the... Well, actually, what we can do, what would be infinitely easier, is going over here. And having a look at the brackets and asking it to show all groups so we can see my face. Hey, I missed you guys. Let's see. Endgame will play Hate. We'll be following that match in 20 seconds time. 20 minutes time, 20 seconds, my god. Dis and Cash will play out in a knockout. And then the winner of that will play versus Hated or Endgame. And basically the winner of this match and the winner of this match are through to the final tournament, and then playing for seeding effectively here. MFG have dispatched APA. Interesting. Immo playing Sparta probably to a tiebreaker. ZGS steaming through Till. Chai's Raider beat Sis. Serenity beat Zero. First Alliance beat Immo's Dupix Power Team. Jones beating MIR. Reti losing to Winners. Group 6. Turks just edging out Demo in a tiebreaker. Phoenix beating Ascend. Group 7. Loka shutting down Whelp 3-0. Vale beating Asp 3-0. Vale's team is doing surprisingly well. They're a good team. Bearing in mind what I know about the sort of the shuffle that they've had around in terms of the clan and the players and the roster for their comp team, it's surprisingly well. That they are, I think they would agree that they're having a very good run. But I also know that they're putting in a lot of work and effort. And there's a very good team camaraderie and spirit there. So that bodes well. Bodes well for Vale. I think they'll be very happy if they can make it into the final tournament. And certainly looking at this, I would expect them to also be potentially, well, at least in the last chance tournament. Now that's the other thing. We don't know how the last chance tournament is going to play out. I would suspect the last chance tournament would be the 7, because there's going to be 7 third place teams from this third stage, I might suspect that they'll play like maybe a round robin system or something next week. I don't know. I don't have any details. That would be a logical thing to me, to have a round robin with 7 teams, because you can't really have like a double elimination bracket with 7, or at least not easily and fairly, but a round robin would work. But Wargaming show, they'll let us know how it's going to be when they know. So that is the lie of it. Let's go back to the garage, and what we can do, because we've got time and we've got birthday tanks for days, is we can play Big Boss mode in it. That is what we can do, because we can play on PC and it won't affect our stats. So Big Boss mode is one of the most fun modes. I've genuinely found it joyful to play Big Boss mode. I think it reminds me of when I first discovered World of Tanks Blitz, and I over one weekend I just kept playing game after game. I was like, wow, this is really fun. Oh, we're the boss. Excellent. It's a good job we're not in like a really crap tank, and we're not on PC controls, and we're not live streaming, so everyone can see how bad we're about to perform. K91. Oh. Right, there's a TD in that bush. Oh crap.
Enemy is hit. We're immobilized. Get going.
Sorry, this is going to be a very busy, working hard kind of stream. Oh, you little... That was a really stupid use of the lightning mode. That was a better use of the lightning mode. No, we pushed up too aggressively. Tell me about it, right? Uh-oh. Ha! Lol. Oh, this is us dead. We tried. I was expecting... I had some good healers for a while. I was expecting some good healers. I mean, I'm not doing terribly. Bearing in mind that I don't have an F1 on my one-handed keyboard and I have to reach up to hit the bomb blast. Also, I'm missing adrenaline. That is the old big sad right there. Right.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Okay. Looks like our team is being quite passive. And they like letting the enemy push up.
Enemy is hit. One of our trucks was hit. One of our trucks is gone. We can't move.
That's what I think about that, to be honest.
Fix the track. Let's roll. We've hit them hard. Nice shot. Enemy vehicle knocked out.
Oh, gravity. Well,
Truck hit.
I don't think we're going to win this.
Ricochet. Enemy armor is damaged. They're knocked out. Enemy is hit. Enemy destroyed. Punched right through their armor. They're hit. Enemy armor is damaged. We nailed them bad.
Gotcha.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Yeah, I think I did right. When's the room up? This soon. Let's see. Well, that's not bad. As you can see, I'm really helping out my clan with the old. What? Where even am I on the track? Here? Here? Oh, it's thinking about it, We got up to here, okay. Amazing. Oh, Spitfires from Serenity Clan asks a very interesting question. It's worth. I mean, that is a group of death, I would say. Appa, Sparta. Is that a question or is that a prediction? Let's see the old groups. Yeah. Oh. Yes, one of them will be going out. That's interesting. I mean, looking at Appa's team, but then also, I mean, Sparta's Elnopenstein. Oh man, that's tough. I mean, this group is just brutal. I don't know how MFG managed to beat APA 3-2, but then I mean we almost saw Cash beat Endgame 3-2. So, you know, that's the old room. Okay. Let's just double check. I think I've got time to give you a replay. 44. Not enough time for that replay though. Unfortunately. Endgame. Well, Hate. I need to familiarize. I mean, so the 74, maybe the 70. When was that account made? Yeah, 2020, 2021. So Hate have got 4 rerolls, at least. That's 2015. That's more like it. 2017, 2015, 2015, 2016. 2018. So yeah, I mean, Hate have got 4 rerolls, improving their seeding. But I mean, like at a certain point, a reroll is no longer a reroll, right? You know, once you've played 14,000 battles, okay, yeah, you made your account like 2 years ago, but like at one point that just becomes like, okay, like that's just your account. You've got rid of some legacy stats, but like it's a very good player outside of proving themselves outside of newbie mode, shall we say. So we're in. We'll give them some privacy. Okay. Damage predictions. Game 1 open. Say winning team. Total damage. Excellent stuff. Yes, we're giving them some privacy. Turn off our boosters. Well, America. Sorry, I love putting American camos on American tanks. Call me a traditionalist, shall we say? It's not. I mean, it makes it look like it goes faster. And that's what you need really on the T95. So Pirate Storm Barbosa making a bold claim that Appa win. We're watching Endgame versus Hate. I don't know how to. I don't know how to break this to you. Bash 'em all! Also known as Midad. Welcome. Hello. Well, we've got 1 minute and 30 to go. We're playing Vineyards in this best of 5. Pirate Storm Barbosa. I can understand where the confusion came in, to be fair. I can understand. There's a lot of mixed information being thrown at you, shall we say. Yeah. At the moment, no one's predicted endgame. No one's predicted a winning team from this fixture. So Aquanite, okay, Aquanite is currently on track to win. Unless someone comes in first. Oh, ABD. Endgame will win with an 18,500. Shooting high. Morinka, endgame will win 17,000 damage. Okay, you're getting the hang of it now. Some good predictions. It's good. Keep your eye on the chat because the next one I'm going to open, and it'll be open between the first match and the second match. So you'll have like maybe a minute and a half window. So just keep your eyes on the chat. 14 seconds to go. In we go. Henno Van Dam, you won yesterday. In game. Coming out of a pretty hairy tiebreaker versus Cash endgame. Red team Southspawn up against Hate. Blue team Northspawn, another best of 5 series endgame where they've got last their light tank main in the T100 bombing it into B. Moaning Myrtle following up. Close time 1B will be looking to use the very lovely gun depression at the 1B with the turret. Winch in a 260, object 260, playing pretty aggressively. Still Winch in the 260 on Fort Despair, second time round. Nico in the 50B. Endgame again leaning on that pretty speedy lineup. But there is still Orca, Blue Steel, Carolade, triple 60 TPs. Hate, they are bleeding. They're on a slight cap deficit. They're digging a bit more into the city. Bugatti, Bugatti, we're just going to call him Bugatti. In the T100, he's got people Zlesny, and Ordinary in the IS-7s, but the IS-7s, Peepo Ordinary, is just catching a lot of flack. As is Atheris. But C is capping. Hate are establishing themselves a cap lead at the expense of HP. It's not huge. They've only had 2 tanks bleed, Ordinary and Atheris. They are about 15, almost 1500 HP behind. Endgame on the back foot with cap pressure. We saw them struggle versus Cash, playing out of a cap deficit, which is not something you normally expect from Endgame. Winch rotating back to the city. We're looking at the lovely triple 60 TP anchor for the endgame team, playing pretty solid position, although the Blue Steel unspotted is rotating with the last And I think the 260 is going out that way as well. Oh yes, as is the 50B. Endgame are sending a sneaky rotation round into C early on last. Quick in. Tagging. Did he hit Peepo? Peepo was spotted for a while. The timing here is great. Absolutely superb, because Peepo is going to come in and push on last. He will get a shot off potentially. Onto Winch. And now Endgame are just going to drop the hammer on Zlazny. Whoa! There goes Ordinary. He's been chipped away. His hit points have been being chipped away out all game. And he's down, and those IS-7s were bleeding a lot early on. And he is, well, Zlazny is down. Thriss gets ammo racked. The 60 TP ammo rack is just an absolute liability. Moaning Myrtle now in a bit of trouble. Hate looking to push in. Hate.
Welcome to the swarm.
Oh wow. 640 Alpha Tanker. That the Sharker subscription is rather large. There's no missing that. Hate pushing in, but it's just at this point it's a foregone conclusion. As last. Just move. Who is spamming me in Discord? Endgame with a strong win. Cool, right. And we got Firefly. Amazing. Amazing. How do I... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit Discord. That's what I'm going to do. It's true, the deal for real has been here for quite a while. Truth be told. Okay. Endgame with a strong, very strong performance versus Hate, and it was that aggressive rotation in through the city that really I saw those messages, Enno. I saw them. A really aggressive move by Endgame in through the city, but it paid off. Last, toying with the idea of taking Sheridan. At the last minute, deciding maybe actually I should take the T100, or maybe I should take the Batchat 25T. Who knows? Who can say? But it does look like Endgame are going to chop and change, play around with the meta once more. Hate this time bringing double 50Bs. Endgame bringing double Batchats. If you're going to bring double Batchats, Vineyards might be the map for it. Not sure how that's going to play out. I am not sure how that is going to play out in the current meta at all. But we are slowly but surely deviating. Endgame, Red Team, Northspawn. They're bringing a quadruple core of 60 TPs, backed up by Moaning Myrtle in there. Concept 1B, Last and Winch in the Batchat 25T is playing very aggressively. Last, quick into A. Winch going to be quick into C, but potentially Bugatti will spot up Winch and the DPM. And Bugatti now, well, Winch is in a really difficult position. He is spotted and will remain spotted for quite some time. Bugatti bounces off Winch. Winch staying spotted for another 20 seconds. Bugatti now knows that Winch is on a drum reload, can put her into him. We're seeing a small cap lead, but Last rotating in to support Winch. They potentially could clip out Bugatti. Bugatti getting tagged! Who was that? It was that 60 TP. Endgame putting the triple 60 TP anchor in. Orca and Moaning Myrtle holding off the A flank together. Nice defensive position. Hate. Their turn to rotate. Oh, Oh, the T100 flushed out by the double bat chat. You bring one T100, it is vulnerable. And she used you. Is, speaking of vulnerable, in a lot of trouble, down to their last 7-2-5. Those bat chats, that little two-man wolfpack pushing in. IS7's bleeding once more. Moaning Myrtle looking to shut down Zlesny. DPM on that. Broccoli's on the reload. Bounces Zlesny. Broccoli now looking to engage. But Zlesny going down to Orca. Broccoli looking for the low hit point Orca. She used down. It's a 3-gun advantage. Endgame are just in control. They've lost Orca though. But these 50Bs, I mean, they're not carrying tanks there. Everything's going well. We're pretty healthy as a team. We're gonna like burn you down with the 50Bs. They're gonna struggle for map control. B's been countercapped as well. By Endgame. Yeah, B's been countercapped. And now it's just the two 50Bs who are going to really struggle with these odds. Because last is just going to barrel in. And look at the HE rolls coming in. Last with a huge 475 roll. And the blue steel, or Carolade with the kill shot. No, the blue steel with a ram kill. Boop. Endgame. Well, I mean, not quite as dominant in that game, it has to be said. But the double bat chats were a great counter against the lone T100. That poor Bugatti. I mean, he came off one. I mean, Bugatti, it's a reroll. It's a good reroll. Came off pretty good against one bat chat head to head. Endgame made a really good read, sent in their other guy to support him, and there was crossfire from the 60 TPs anchoring down the middle. We've got Gladkey from Appa here as well. Hey. $60 seconds looking for predictions. It's hard to run a damage predictions tournament on a 3-minute delay when there's only 2 minutes between matches. Truth be told. But we're getting a few in. Aquanite and Project Pike Gaming are... Oh, Morinka backing Hate for a comeback here. Endgame are on match point, but we've seen them go to this spot before, coming out of Fort Despair, and then lose 2 games in a row to Cash on Black Goldville. Faust, though, is a whole different kettle of fish. Both teams running a quadruple 60 TP lineup, double IS7 T100. I'm not saying that there's a meta here, but those lineups are suspiciously similar, shall we say. Endgame, red team, South Spawn, match point. Versus Hate, blue team, North Spawn. Same lineups for both teams. Last in the T100 LT for Endgame. Bugatti in the T100 LT for Hate. And he had a pretty rough game getting double teamed by Last and Winch in the bat chats in the second spawn of Vineyards. Hate with the early cap lead on C. Endgame playing very passively on B. Blue Steel not going in. We're seeing Orca and the other 60CP stacked here. Endgame have capped A. That was Last. Quick in. And Endgame's very passive play on D. this is interesting. By endgame not choosing to get a quick cap on D, they kind of caused a bit of indecision from Hate. Hate didn't look to push a numerical advantage on D because they didn't know the tanks were there potentially, or they weren't so sure. That's given endgame time to now play the field, get A and D, and they can probably rotate Winch and Nico in the IS-7s out of there pretty effectively, but Hate are stacked up aggressively. It's going to be an information game early on now. For the next minute or two, a little bit of blind fire. Not blind fire, long range fire. She used to getting tagged by Moaning Myrtle in the 60TP. Nice to see Moaning out of the 1B. Nico getting tagged by Bugatti, spotted for the next 20 seconds. Hit points slightly in the favour of endgame. They've got double caps, 2-1 cap lead ticking over in their favour. We're going to be in a pretty stale scenario here until Hate decide how they're going to make a move. Endgame might get a bit cocky and go for B. I might be tempted to put last into B if I was endgame. I mean, that is of course knowing what I know. Eyes in the sky, seeing where all of Hate's tanks are. And Hate looks like they are making that choice to rotate. Ooh, they're very... Hate are very spotted and very far apart. They're spread out across basically the whole map. They're using She Used You, lovely Tesla attachment, to push. And endgame can just rock back. I mean, look at that. They got a good last with the snapshot. Doesn't connect, but now She Used. Well, connects, but doesn't pen. Broccoli. Oh, in trouble. Winch. And Nico are there. Nico coming in for a jump kill. Nico. Oh, that would have been one for the highlight reel. Nico will get an easy kill shot in here, and it's a good gun advantage. The blue steel, of all people, is also there. And the 60 TPs from endgame are just absolutely all over the shop. And Hate now are a gun down, they're 4k HP down, and they are trapped in a corner. They've shut down Zlez, and you make that 2 guns down. She Used You. Tangling with Orca, but he's got Last and Carolade behind him, and you've got to think that's a lot of focus fire. She Used You will be the next one off the field. Good night. Carolade counter-capping D back into the hands of endgame. Counter-capping. Hate, sorry. Bugatti looking to... It's a low roll. Well, 300 is a pretty decent roll, but there's 2 low tanks there. Hate and not out. They are. It's a 6-on-3 with a huge cap and cap point lead. Hate just bouncing around, losing the information war. Endgame making rotations. Good, intelligent information gameplay, and they're coming out of this with a very comfortable 5, maybe 6 guns if Nico doesn't die. Solid performance. And endgame. Yeah, I mean, like more than 2-1 HP, map control, cap control. And actually, what we might be able to do. What I might be able to do is just show you a little bit about what I saw in that game, because we've got a lot of time before the next battle comes in, I believe. No, I've got absolutely no time. Because let's give them some privacy. We're going in to follow the lower bracket we're following. So the winner of this will go and face endgame, but we will follow this. But basically, endgame on this game, they played out of here. They sent the T100 for a quick, easy cap into A. They held 3 or 4 tanks over D. I don't know if they got spotted or not, but they didn't cap, and certainly not all of them were spotted. So Hate pushed and got an early cap on C, but they weren't sure like how many tanks, or if there were any tanks here to push into. They also weren't sure like whether it would be worth pushing into A. because they know like they might get pushed. So basically, Hate spent a lot of time indecisive in this top left corner, and that meant that Endgame were able to get solid cap lead by capping A and D. Good field position, good information. The IS-7s here from Endgame, double IS-7s worked really well. Endgame even rotated a 60 TP through at one point to kind of join this counterflank, and the T-100 came in to defend D. Endgame, it was really interesting to see that choosing to get a late cap on D, and I don't know if it was their intention or not, but it caused indecision. And then eventually when Hate did make the move, they crossed in the open, they got farmed, they pushed in pretty much equal numbers, and then they kind of got counter-pushed off of A. And we were left with a scenario where Hate were caps down, cap points down, guns down, just trapped in this sort of pocket here. And it was, I've not really seen a team do that, like using a passive late cap on D while getting a stronger presence and safer cap on A. That was really, really good. that was some good stuff. I'm a huge fan. Color me converted, shall we say. Yeah, sorry, I'm just seeing your message now. The 640 Alpha Tanker, yeah, there's a 3-minute delay on the stream. And that's just to prevent stream sniping. We never say that teams are going to do it, but they might. Interesting to note, of course, that Cash, the team that beat Endgame, lost to Endgame, sorry, 3-2, beat Dis. And if we have a look at the brackets quickly, particularly for our top group, brackets, third stage, all groups show you that. I mean, if you have a look here, in Dis, well, Dis did lose to Hate 3-0, but they beat Cash 3-1. Interesting, like there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors shenanigans going on over here. Are Dis going to beat Hate? They got clean swept by them in the upper bracket semi-finals, so they'll be looking for some revenge here. And bearing in mind, this is probably the most critical match, shall we say. I mean, like, this one was pretty important, because if you lose this, you're knocked out, and you're probably definitely not getting in the last chance. I would anticipate that the loser of this match will at least get into the last chance tournament. The winner of this match is definitely through to the final stage. The grand finals, it's more for seeding in that final stage. Well, the final tournament rather than the final stage. So this is a really critical fixture. The loser of this is going to have a pretty tough time in the last chance tournament. The winner is definitely through to the final tournament. So there's a lot riding on this. Dis versus Hate. Ghost Factory. Very interesting. Shoffrey 1992 is spot on. The Tesla across the Crimean camo is beautiful. And we are seeing Dis, red team, 3 HP difference at the start, versus Hate, blue team. Hate in the north spawn. Hate running quintuple 60 CPUs, double IS-7s. Dis running triple Yo. There's Kilo, Ada, and Skylar. All 3 shots, 3,000 DPM per tank. Those things hit like a truck, but in a burst. But it's solid DPM. Cap lead will be neck and neck. I think maybe Dis will edge out on the cap lead. No. Hate have the cap lead, but they're in a bit of a sticky situation here. She used you, Ordinary and Bugatti having to fall back. Nice to see Bugatti outside of a light tank for once. Bugatti has bled. Nice little pullback, safe. getting safe in unison, nice moves. At the same time, Matique in the IS-7. It's Galacti and Matique. Whew, lovely shot into Ordinary. Playing well. And Dis have got a pretty good hit point. They're carving, well, not so much anymore. They were carving out pretty good hit points, but there's an aggressive move here. And the Chrysik defender picking up some key bounces and some low rolls. Ada trading, and this is the issue with that Yo. Is like you're peaking with your 300 pew pew alpha gun versus someone who can slap you for lots of damage. And there goes the first tank. It was Mr. of Death. Mr. of Death down. But it's quickly answered, and we're just going to see an absolute carnage fest here. Caps lock on, that's not right. Interesting. And I am trying to find a tank that has a good view here, because this has just turned into an absolute knuckle brawl. And who's got the best focus fire? Who's got the best coordination? Who can miss and pen their shots as and when required? Not that you ever need to miss a shot, but you know what I mean. And I think Dis are going to edge out Hate here, and those Yos might be... and Matic is doing a really lovely job blocking St. Leslie. Well, he was doing a lovely job, but he did enough. And it's a 4-on-2 in the hit points, so 2-to-1 in the favour. Dis have come out of the brawl on top. They got the and this just really nice. I mean, brawls are messy. They're almost impossible to commentate. Broccoli, last man standing. Nothing much he can really do here in his IS-7. Especially as Skylar just gets 3 shots chambered and the rear armor tacked up. Skylar is like having a grand old time. And Dis make a disproportionately strong response to the 3-0 they were drubbed by Hate in the upper bracket semi-final, and they've come out swinging. Absolutely swinging. And the Yos had a really mixed bag of performances. But the 60, well, Jesus, Ordinary, I don't even know if he landed a single shot. That is, that's painful. Was that an ammo rack? How did he go? No, he had a lot of hits. Just really good focus fire, good coordination by Dis. And Ghost Factory, I know it's not the most popular map in the comp scene, and maybe you can sort of understand why having those 2 caps in that sort of enclosed factorium area really does just sort of lend itself to it's like a vortex. It just sucks tight. You get stuck into a brawl, or you see your neighbor stuck into a brawl on your team, you go and help them, and it's just kind of it encourages that big kind of pile in, especially with like kind of all of the map, the terrain pointing into it, like you're kind of going downhill into the factory from pretty much nearly everywhere. It just sort of really encourages you to go barreling in. Dis leading Hate 1-0. It's the first point they put past Hate this evening. Losing 3-0 in the first fixture. Back into Ghost Factory, swapping the spawns. And I think maybe Hate will not be taking so many 60 TPs. I think we are correct. But Dis have dropped the Yos. Both teams with a very similar lineup, the only difference being Bugatti and the T100. It's one less IS-7, one more T100 LT. Is that light tank an asset or a liability? That's the key question here, because he's got a pretty safe auto insta-cap on A, unless Dis send anyone over for the counter cap. Now we've got full view of everyone on the map. The eye is in the sky, we can see for miles. And Bugatti will be getting that safe cap on, but Dis will know they have a numerical advantage in the city area. Are they going to play more aggressively? That's the question, and the answer is yes. Is that shot accurate? The answer is no. And I think Hate are making a good play here because they are not getting sucked into that brawl as readily as they might otherwise have been. So Dis are going to have control over B, but Hate are not pushing a look at this. This is like Thermopylae 300. They're making Dis come through that narrow opening, and they're just going to farm them as they come through. Bugatti's there. This is a lovely play by Hate. Now the DPM farm in the back will just get shots off into Skylar, and the hit points are falling off both teams, but Hate currently have the edge, and they've even picked up the first gun. And they're going to pick up the second gun. Hate with a lovely wait and bait strat, and just Galacti is down. But Hate are just, it's a brawl, but it's on Hate's terms this time. Ada in trouble. Focus fire is good. Skylar's down. The next call is She Used You from Hate. It's a 4-on-5. This is close. I mean, the hit points are in the favor of Hate. But Dis Matique with a face sit kill on She Used You. Ada trying to get safe. Not quite. Broccoli looking to shut down Ada. Broccoli getting chased by Mr. of Death. It's a 4-on-3. Dis still on the back foot. Huge hit point disadvantage in the favor of Hate. Atheris looking for a big roll into Remy. Doesn't have the gun, does have the good depression, and even gets a nice roll with the tungsten shells. Matique. 3-on-2. 3-2 HP. 3-1 HP advantage in the favor of Hate. Atheris just getting loaded up, looking for Matique. Lovely 692 roll. Nice to see the T100 just hanging in there. Struggling to pen the Troll IS-7. And Hate with a really nice, really nice play. Takes a hit from Matique, but it was the anticipation from Hate was spot on. They understood sending that T100 into A-cap, gave them a gun deficit. They must have said, like, okay, we know that they know we're going to have a gun deficit, so they're probably going to play aggressive in the city. That's kind of factorium, that factory, that enclosed area, which is exactly what Dis did. And then Dis, and I don't know why they did this, they sent all of their tanks through that tiny little door. I mean, it's pretty big, but it looks small when you're trying to shove 7 heavy tanks through it. And Hate were like, excellent, ducks in barrel, we'll have at you. Superb, absolutely superb read by Hate. Really, really good read. So let's see. We're going to go in now. We're tied up 1-for-1. And Dis, well, I think Dis, they basically set the thought up and fell on it themselves. Hate made a great read, but Dis, other than like pushing through into waiting guns, semi-hull down, dug in, didn't play terribly. It was just that one decision put them on such a back foot. Ugh. And we are here on Middleburg. Wall maps tied up 1-1. The teams have taken pretty different lineups. Well, Dis, triple 60CP, triple IS7 T100, Hate, quadruple 60CP, one IS7, double T100, and I think this is one of the first times we're seeing double T100s, and I'm not so sure. Well, with the mobility, and is Kilo in trouble? No, Kilo is in a good position. Dis have got A capped, and they're moving their entire forces, and also moving their forces unspotted. We're seeing Ada and Galacti, 60 TP IS7 respectively, after capping off A pretty safely, now rotating up to C. Dis will have, well, they're on a slight cap deficit here. They're on a slight cap deficit. Matique getting tagged, C getting counter capped, and this is going to be the cap lead for Dis. Now, do the double T100s from Hate, how do they work? Now, the Hate are capping off B. If they can counter cap A, they're going to have the mobility, but the issue for Hate is going to be, how do you hold on to a 4 HP lead? Ooh, we do it by tagging. Well, by getting tagged, not so much. And Dis are going to drop the hammer. And they're going to try, and they know they've got a huge numerical. All of 7 Dis tanks now are pushing into, my prediction was wrong, Hate are in a lot of trouble. The Mister of Death has to basically just stay alive. Good hit point pool rotation. It's a big gun advantage. Kilo's down. Mister of Death, but this is a nice play. Hate have come up, and Bugatti will look for Mister of Death. Lovely roll, and Hate are not out of the fight. Maybe my prediction was correct. Galacti now looking to get in the rear. It's a 4-on-4, neck and neck. Everyone's up in the corner. Everyone hustled. But Hate have got the 3 caps ticking over in their favor. That's going to force Galacti to stay out of the fight. Zelesny is going down. Looks like Remy's going to get a big kill shot in here. Boom goes the dynamite. Ada, Matique, and Remy 4-on-3. Bugatti now maybe counter capping C, and Hate are playing for the cap. Galacti's going to go down, try and stop A. Bugatti for C. Broccoli's doing a great job holding on 3-on-1, and it is Hate. I mean, with the T100s map and cap control, and Dis were in control of the fight. I mean, they had a gun advantage, they had damage advantage, but they didn't have the mobility to deal with the caps, and it was a great choice by Hate. It was a really strong choice by Hate to send in 2 T100s on that map, because their mobility was astonishing, because they got the double city cap and then they were in the back of Dis on the medium, on the hill cap, so fast, and it gave them the option. Once it was like the caps were advanced enough, it gave them the option to just go like, no, we're out, and run away. And cap map control really came in their favor. Warinka in with a prediction. Spitfire's in with a prediction. Shuffley is just entering for the kudos now. 30 seconds and then we'll close. Project Pike Gaming. Everyone's backing Hate. And I mean, Hate, Dis kind of put a spanner in the works with that first victory because it looked so solid. And Hate have just been playing very intelligently after that. They've just sort of really been... They put on the gamer IQ hat. And they're on match point in this best of 5, going into Middleburg. Second map, second spawn, swapping it. Dis, red team, south spawn, Hate, blue team, north spawn, Hate leading Dis 2-1. Dis, triple 60 TPs, triple IS7, Matique in the T100 LT. Hate bringing quadruple 60 TPs, double IS7, Bugatti in the T100 LT, and Dis are making an aggressive play on the city. Hate have got a slight hit point advantage, ever so slight. They've tagged Galacti already. Dis are pushing in, and this could be a mistake because Mr. of Death does not have support, and he is alone, and there's no shots coming in for Hate, and they're just having an absolute field day farming Mr. of Death, and I don't know if that's a bit of miscommunication from Dis, but actually this could be working because he's pulled the whole Hate team through and he's split Hate. Or are Dis now in a pocket? I'm not so sure. Hit points neck and neck, but there is a gun disadvantage. Lots of low hit point tanks. Down goes the second tank. It's Matique. Ada's low. Ada's down. It's a 3-gun advantage. Hate are just going to cruise through here now. 3-gun advantage is huge. Dis are in disarray. They might be able to take down Krisic. They do have She Used You. 6 on 3. No, this one. I mean, although Dis have got the hit points, I mean, they don't have the hit points, but they've got some hit points. It's just the gun advantage. It's a messy brawl. Also, Bear. Oh, good morning! And I'm Amorak. I'm Broccoli with the GG, and it was good GG. Dis put in a good show, but Hate. Love the sportsmanship. Huge shout out and kudos to Dis for that. Mad respect for good sportsmanship. Hate muscling in on the brawl on the last map. Good read. Bit of a misplay by Dis. Again, another time falling on their own sword, but it's a solid, disciplined brawl win for Hate, and that will be a comfort to them because they really got punished on the first game on Ghost Factory, which was a kind of a brawl. But this time they executed all the simple things that can be so hard to get right in the heat at the moment. They executed it very, very well. And we're straight into the next one. Huge. Huge win for Hate. And that means that Dis will probably be going through to the last chance tournament. I don't know the specifics of that. I don't know how it's going to function. What we do know for sure is that Hate and Endgame are through to the final tournament. This one is going to be proceeding. There's also a bit of a prize pool difference. It's worth bearing in mind, of course, that the third stage, there's more credits, there's more free XP in for the third, like fractional. Not really sure if it's if it's enough to sort of motivate try-harding. It depends on how the results will affect seeding, but probably you'll want to do as well as you can so you get the best possible seeding in the final tournament, because better seeding and there's going to be less separation between the really good teams. You're going to start seeing Jones, Loka, Endgame potentially coming up against each other. And the more you can delay that kind of fixture, the better, shall we say. Tremendous performances so far. 2 minutes. The final of this particular group 1 of the Money Blaster Open. The teams have played. This is their third evening this week playing this tournament. They've had a pretty tough series. I mean, 3 or 4 best of 3s Monday, Wednesday, and then 3 or 4 fixtures this evening. This is Endgame's third fixture, Hate's fourth fixture. We're getting some good predictions in. People want that battle pass. I don't blame you. Who doesn't want like free stuff in game? I do, certainly. Alright. Here we go. 1 minute. Looking at the lineup. Hate are... They're either trolling me with a minute to go, or we're going to see a thing of beauty, which is a double bat chat, double 50B, T100, double IS7 approach to the game. And that could be because they know that they're through and they anticipate losing anyway, so they don't really care what happens. Or it could be because Hate have a plan, and I want to choose to believe that it is the latter of those two options. I want so desperately to believe that someone's crazy enough and smart enough to make a strategy like this work. But that's what I'm going to say. Even though they're coming up against Endgame, they're going to take a glass cannon and they're going to execute it. Because if they can pull this off, that's what we need. The meta is getting a bit stagnant. You know, it's the same slow, heavy tank lineups. You know, like you can chop and change, but it's the same 4 or 5 tanks with maybe a peppering of 50B or T100 here or there. And I really want to see someone break the mold. And Hate are here with a Batchat crazy plan. Endgame, red team, Northspawn, best of 5 up against Hate, blue team, Southspawn. Hate, double 50B, double Batchat, double IS7, T100 coming to the table with almost 1,500 HP less. That's actually not that bad. It's more than, it's about 1,600. Endgame with 1 T100. Concept B, quadruple 60 CPs, and IS7 endgame stacking aggressive. Oh, the Batchat, whatever. An ordinary getting an endgame. Endgame know they've got a huge brawling heavy tank advantage. They're gonna barrel those 60 TPs in, and they're getting hurt. Ordinary and Oliver tagged by Orca. Lovely shot. The mad camo and Oliver not connecting Oliver and people. Ordinary on the drum reloads. They're in trouble. C's getting capped. Endgame just pushing over Bugatti, Chiron, and the IS7. Oliver down. Last now chasing Ordinary. Last hunting bounces the unusually bouncy armor of the Batchat 25T. And there's a lot happening. I mean, Bugatti, Selesny. So that's a brawl. We don't need to see that. Last is going to come up on top there. Chiron, Bugatti, down to Moaning Myrtle. Winch low. It was a gutsy strat. But Endgame read the pretty obvious move, which is rush C. It's a 6-on-3 with a 2-to-1 HP advantage. And ooh, maybe not. Nope. Moaning Myrtle. The concept 1B is just such a wonderful tank. Huge, huge. I mean, pretty simple. Not groundbreaking play here from Endgame. When you know you've got such a heavy advantage over your opponent, you can push in and be hyper aggressive. And last, just getting behind CYCU, just turning him round, and then the rest of Endgame can shut him down. And it's a bold plan, and maybe if you're playing a team that's not going to read what you're going to do very obviously, it'll work. But Endgame saw that for what it was and knew they just had to commit hard and fast to that flank, and they pulled it off to perfection. And that low, the low amount of hit points that Hate brought to the table will really have skewed who won the prediction gambit on that one. In-game versus Hate. Hate are sticking with the soft and squidgy lineup. And I'm not sure if this is just because they want to keep their good strats and their cards close to their chest, or is because they genuinely believe that they can make this work. And I can see that potentially it could work. I'm just not convinced. Endgame are taking more of the same, but we're seeing Winch in an E100, which is an interesting choice when you've got in a world of 60 TPs. What does the E100 do that the 60 doesn't? That's the real question. Oof.
Time to roll out.
Endgame. Again, with a slight hit point advantage. Less this time. Looking at a 700 HP advantage, maybe? 800 HP advantage. Endgame. A mix of tanks, pretty similar to the last game, except Winch is in the E100 with his little radioactive camo. I forget what it's called. Hate, same. They've dropped a 50B for a Yo. Not so sure that's good. Hate trying to double bluff with their very light strat, and the bat chat's pushing in for a B. And Endgame, just, I don't know, like, it's a level of prescience here from Endgame, because they didn't counter rush C, they counter rushed the city. And did they outguess their opponent, or did they get lucky? That's what I don't know. And the bat chats really struggle versus 60 TPs. It's just, you're 3 shots away from getting eviscerated. Or an HE roll from Carolade in the IS-7 to shut down Peepo Ordinary. And once again, Endgame, I think just by virtue of taking a sensible meta lineup, have a bit of a stroll in the park. And I'm not so sure, I don't know if Hated are not, I wouldn't say that they're throwing this, but they're taking very adventurous lineups. And I can see this kind of lineup working against an opponent that maybe can't deal with the mobility or could panic under like a high amount of focus fire. But we just have to recognize that Endgame are not that team, and they're going to keep their cool, and they're going to. I mean, Nico shielding Orca, you know, and Artemius will put the shot in, but at this point, it's just a pretty rough ride for Hate. It's a best of 5, and it's now match point to Endgame. They have cruised in. And you really see the bat chats really struggling to output even a full clip. And the whole of Endgame getting in on that duck in a barrel action. Endgame leading Hate Grand Finals best of 5. Both teams are through. We're on Desert Sands. And I think Hate, they tried to play an intelligent glass cannon strat on Port Bay and it didn't work. And now with a minute to go, I'm not so sure that they're giving it their best. But on the one hand, I can understand that. Like, you know, if you're pretty confident that at this stage, like, you're more than likely to lose out to Endgame, it's worth taking those high-risk strategies, seeing if they work, because this game is this fixture. Not that it's inconsequential, but like, you can afford to lose it. You're going through into the next stage of the tournament anyway. In all honesty, like, whether you're seeded higher or lower, it's not going to be a huge impact on a team like Hate going into the next stage. It does look like, though, that Endgame are going to be the experimental team here. And I like that. I respect that, and I can get behind triple Progetto, triple TVP, and a 260. No, Oliver, don't be. Oh, he's in. Endgame have maybe it's a gentleman's agreement. You go 2 crazy strats, we go 2 crazy strats. But Endgame are taking the most mobile lineup we've seen in a long time. Is this 2016? Are we back in the first ever Twister tournament? Who can say? But here we are. Endgame match point up against Hate. And Hate can see that they've got an almost 3k HP lead. Endgame red team South spawn with 1 heavium and 6 mediums up against Hate. And I mean, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of burst damage potential. I mean, that's a pretty spicy camo and pumpkin combo. And Hate are going to be, well, I mean, I laugh, but notionally, if Last can get out, which I'm not sure he will. Oh, Bugatti's there. Oh, he doesn't have the ram damage. And Last doesn't have the turret traverse. Oh no. Is he the sneaky bait strat? It's a good trade. Tank for tank. T100 for TVP. Hit points in the favor of Hate. Caps in the favor of Endgame. Endgame have got the DPM and the map control. She used you, Oliver, now. Pushing in Orca and Moaning Myrtle, looking to focus down. She used you. Winchulating the 260, bleeding heavily on a peak. And the rest of Endgame looking to push in. Down goes She Used You. And Endgame maybe treating this like a focus fire exercise, because there's very little room for error when you're when you're running Progettos against 60 TPs. And Hate are doing good. And Peepo, where's the focus fire? I'm not seeing it. Blue Steel's in trouble. Oliver will connect. CYCU looking to connect. Peepo doesn't connect. Oh, there's CYCU, and the flaming spear and sear goes. But Endgame are currently on top of them in terms of guns. This is the experiment. Is the experiment stumbling across a new meta, or are Endgame just brutally mechanically overpowered? We'll never know. Oh, 4-on-3. Endgame with the mobility. Oh, you're getting tagged. Winch coming round and is the token heavy. And it's a 4-on-2, and I don't understand how Endgame have managed to pull this one out of the fire. They're still at a hit point deficit. There needs to be a little bit of focus fire here. CYCU. That's a really nice spear and seer camo combo. It's a 2-on-2. He needs to hit... Orca's on the drum reload. Orca's coming in for blood. He's going to have 4 shots in the clip. He's going to CYCU off the battlefield. And now he's going for ordinary. And it is Endgame with a mind-boggling strategy and victory. And I don't know if they're going to add that one into their, like, we're playing very seriously, this battle really matters playbook. But here we are. That is... I don't know what to... I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I am perplexed and bamboozled. That's what I'm going to say. That's really weird. I mean, maybe Hate just didn't think that Endgame would be able to execute it that effectively, or they just weren't sort of super emotionally invested in the result. But either way, I mean, kudos to both teams. Played a good game. I love seeing experimental lineups, and if we're being brutally honest, the time to take such experimental lineups is in a game like this where both teams are already through to the next stage. Not that it's a foregone conclusion that Endgame would beat Hate, but it's more than likely that they would. So maybe it's the right time to see for Hate, like, hey, we got this crazy idea, is it going to work in practice? No. And then for Endgame, it's like, hey, we've got this crazy idea, we're leading Hate 2-1, is it going to work? Yes. So I can totally respect that. And they put on a good show in all the games. So no judgments or criticisms from this end. But there is, while we wait for the results, there is the T95 in Big Boss mode. Hey. I don't want to be the boss. 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 Don't do it to me. Oh, you... Oh, I'm not, thank God. Oh, but we've got a really solid S. Scarface as a boss. Oh, they've got an RHM. What am I, a medic? Excellent. This is a rubbish tank to be a medic in. Not least of all because... Oof. Where am I going? What am I doing? Oh God, if I get like gravity weld. Oh no.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh wow. He should be dead. I'm an idiot. Oh, is everyone using me as a human shield? Excellent. What could possibly go wrong? My accuracy is the answer. We've lost a tank. How and who? Right, you. You're dead. Well, that's really stupid. Keep the boss alive. No. Good. I think good. Maybe Big Boss mode is not the game for the T95. Hey. Oi.
Enemy is hit.
Right, you.
Nice shot. Enemy armor is damaged. One of our trucks is gone. We can't.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really like Graviton anyway, so if you could kill me. You could heal me. You're not going to, though, because you're a freaking asshole. Use your healing ability. Use your healing ability.
Punched right through their armor.
There you go.
Nice shot.
No, don't bomb me. No. Screw you. Yo, if you could, I like literally cannot reverse safely with you there. No. No, don't do it. Screw you. Screw you.
Vehicle destroyed.
Man, the T95 sucks. I have got absolutely no control over the game. At all.
Enemy vehicle knocked out.
I'm just purely at the mercy of like how good my team is. I think that's what's like really distressing.
Enemy destroyed.
Ugh. He did. I got him. He's dead. I got him. Right. You want to see what a level 5 catalyst can do? Yeah, that's right. You gravity well me. That's fair. You're dead.
He's gone. Find us another target. We nailed him bad.
I'll take that.
We hit them hard. Penetration. We got him. Now, this vehicle is hit.
Ooh. Is that our boss on like no HP? No, it's not. Thank God. We won. Yes! We won. I tried. I really tried. But the purpose of that fun little interlude. Yes, we do take friend requests. No, we don't take platoon requests, but we do like completing missions. Ay, ay, ay. What we can do now is we can go and see the brackets and see if all of the groups are concluded. And the answer is not quite. There's still some results that are pending. Oof. So on that basis, we'll jump in. We'll play one more, and then when we're done, we'll be, well, slightly smaller and out of the way. Ooh, Catalyst. Who's our boss? Now, the Catalyst ability is probably one of the best ways, the best for doing damage. An AMX 5120, who's our boss? An M103. Okay, that's good. Now they've got a medium, they've got a bat chat, and another T22, I want to say. Their boss is there. No one's died. No one person. Our team members died. Who's been spotted? You. Hawkeye. Gotcha. That's the great thing about the Catalyst ability. Is you can just sort of not... God, get out of my way. Right. Okay, we've lost our boss already. We have lost our boss already. Ugh. But we're up to Catalyst level 3. I would really quite like to get healed. If I could stay as a Catalyst the whole game, that would be dirty funny. I don't think I will though. I think someone's going to come and kill me. Not least of all this guy. Oh, regenerator. It's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. I really need to fix my controls. Actually, I need to check on my Razer signups where the F1 key is. Well, that does that, okay. That does that, that's a bit annoying. Right, where's our boss? Is he dead again? Kill this dude. Well, that's good. That is good. It's for the best. It's for the best. It's for the best. It was a waste. We got him. We need to kill the boss. We can kill the boss with our amazing catalyst ability. Don't amarack us, you. No, don't do that to us either. That's not fair. Boom, baby. Oh. We managed. Hey, our boss died. Wow, okay. Yeah. Eyes on the prize. You see the boss. If you see a tier 9 boss on 2000 HP and you're a high DPM catalyst, you had absolutely better jump on that train. Let's see if all the results are in. Show me all the groups. Not yet. And you know what we say? We say boss mode. T30 as a boss. There are worse tanks to be boss in, I suppose. Oh, Catalyst again. Be still my beating heart. I love boss mode so much. I can't even begin to explain how much fun I think this game mode is. The respawn with the fixed abilities and the asymmetry, but the predictable asymmetry is, and the fact that you get like different abilities in the same game, in the same tank, I really like that. And even the way the abilities work, like Catalyst, the Graviton, the Healer, like they're all good. I think probably the Medic one needs the most tweaking, I would say. Oh, I didn't check my bloody... Can I plead the fifth? Is that something? Okay. Someone gonna...
Enemy vehicle knocked out.
No! Don't do it!
That one didn't go.
It wasn't me, but it was someone else. Oh, he's having a really bad game. Pray for that man.
Punched right through their armor. One of those trucks was hit. We're immobilized. Penetration. Track repair. Drive on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Vehicle destroyed.
Oh no. Medics are good. Where's my boss? Boss! I'm coming! Hold position! You hold position. I can heal you. Boss! I got you, boss. I got you. I think if you can play the regenerator well, it's one of the quickest way to sort of level up. Mouse, 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 mouse. Mouse, 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 mouse. Heal the other healer. Oh, no, no. We're aligned. We're all going to take damage. Knew it. That's right, run away from the healer. That's a really intelligent move. Seems pretty sus. Alright.
Enemy armor is damaged. Our track is hit. It could break any minute.
If you hold still, I'm going to give you a whole chunk of HP back. Once again, hold still. Oh no. I mean, I think one of our teams we've got mediums and lights going into the lake area. That never bodes well. What does bode well though is being Catalyst again. Let's do it! Let's go rack up some kills. Ho, 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 ho. Let's go.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
I think this is a big old fat one for the W column. The L column, sorry. Oh no, maybe not. Oh please. Yeah. Need to change my controls. Yeah, we're on. We're.
Enemy is hit.
I mean, they did okay with the healing. Their boss was just significantly better than our boss. Oh. Not much better, though, to be fair. Right. First things first. So you're saying that's F1. Where's my Razer synapse gone? Oh, it's that. Okay. I feel stupid. Let's have a look and see about the groups, because you don't care about me in boss mode. You're here for the tournaments, and I don't blame you. So let's jump on over to, if you're interested in following the results of the brackets and things, the regional website's the best, so it's whatblitz.eu or eu.whatblitz.com. Just go through to the tournaments page, then the Money Blaster, Money Blaster Open. Hey, I got it right. Brackets, and then third stage, and we can see Endgame had a pretty solid straight on through. 6-0 Hate. Cash, who went out last, actually probably gave them the toughest series for the day. But Hate and Endgame are through, with Dis probably going to the last chance. And we've got Sparta and Imor through. Upper out. Talk about your upset. Appa out. MFG going into last chance. Not the results not out yet for Imor Sparta, so they're still duking it out. Chai's Raiders, well, Till are in ZGS, and Chai's Raiders are through. Till last chance. Sis out in Group 3. Group 4, Serenity. Oh, wow. 2 tiebreakers back-to-back for Serenity First Alliance. That's pretty impressive. Imor's other team, Dupix Power, out probably for last chance tournament, with Serenity and First Alliance going through. Jones being very confident in Group 5, dispatching Mir winners, and then Reti losing to winners, then beating Mir, then beating winners in the lower bracket finals. So winners into the last chance, maybe. Jones and Reti through. Group 6, Turks and Phoenix, with Demo in the last chance. Phoenix beating Turks, alternating tiebreakers between those two teams. That's quite nice to see. Ascend out. Mir out as well from the previous group. Group 7, the last group. Loka back on form. Vale into the last chance. Asp getting their own back on Vale. 3-3 apiece, 2 3-0s. But Asp and Loka through. So Asp, Loka, Phoenix, Turks, Reti, Jones, First Alliance, Serenity, Chai's Raiders at GS, Sparta, Imors, I think that's the first team, I'm not sure, Endgame and Hate through. I think upset-wise, probably there's people that know more than I do at this particular moment in the game. I would say probably the major upset of the evening is APA going out in 4th in their group, so they're out. No chances. No other real upsets. I'm not seeing, or at least I'm not tremendously aware of any teams that really you would expect to go through that didn't. I think Vale will be a bit gutted to go through into the last chance, but at the same time I think they understand their situation's a bit sort of finicky, shall we say. So overall, I would say it's a pretty good run for everyone. It's just APA, unfortunately. Is that a 5-player? Okay. Cool. This is normal. This is fine. It's 5-on-5. There's 2 tier 9s. I'm not the only tier 9, so kudos to that. Our boss is an IS-7. Their boss is a VK Blade. I've got the Catalyst ability, which is there. Awesome. I can't believe I didn't know that before. I've been reaching across the keyboard. I'm going to camp. I'm going to have a really lazy game. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to camp. Is this VK? Is he a potato? He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, although he did just take out a VT, so... Oh, and he's got medics. Excellent. We're just going to go for like a damage record game. Who shot me? Medium tank from Castilla. There. Our VT has died twice. I don't think we're going to win this one. Not least of all because I don't really have the skills to deal with... Well, we don't have a medium tank, which is a huge issue.
Enemy
Oh, it's the third time he's died. I think this is me not this is me not playing for the win. This is just me playing for the lols because it is a 5 versus 5 game. So what else am I exactly expected to do? Well, no one can really... The only medium tank is that bloody 50 who is, let's be quite honest, a complete potato. Go on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Oh, don't get healed. This is hilarious.
We didn't even scratch them.
I mean, if the VT would stop dying, we might actually be alright. It's bizarre, it's really bizarre.
That one didn't go through.
Oh, you bum. Our boss might kill their boss. That could level the scores up. I might be inclined to then play a bit more sort of strategically. Thing is, I'm actually like, I'm quite effective here. I'm not gonna lie, I am. I'm outputting damage. I'm leveling up. So that was quite ambitious, I would say. If I was the 50B, where would I be going to next? Would I try and make a play that way? I think we're about to lose our boss. Yeah. Oh well. Would I stay on the Castilla? I think I would. I would stay on the Castilla. Okay, people have stopped coming in front of me. Oh, you... I freaking knew it. I knew he'd be there. No! Oh, that was close. Just doesn't make these like 5v5 games. If I was a medium, I would be having such a fun game right now. As it stands, though, although actually, heal the boss, heal the boss. Go on, Bomber. Go get him. Go get him, Bomber. Go get him. Well, we tried. We tried. Maybe the T30s is not one I can win in. Our IS7, he did good. He did pretty good. Me not so much. Let's see if those final results are up just yet. Okay, STB versus Chieftain. But our dude is a six players. Okay, cool. But our boss is from a decent clan, so I have hopes somewhat. Come on, boss, do it. Do the thing. Oh no, he did. Good job, team. Good job. That being said, hello, Catalyst. I think one of the interesting things about Big Boss mode is that some attributes, such as being like a very good hull down tank, actually don't count for that much. I think that some of the best things you can have are to be like low profile, high DPM, and ideally like a higher rate of fire. And our team appears to be falling apart, which is great. Like, our boss is just, I don't really know what he's doing. Maybe he's not from such a good clan. Oh no. Lol. That's another thing I've noticed. Like, okay, so the big boss is like the big boss and is really scary, whatever else, you know. But they have the same number of repair kits you do. That's something I might change, because it's actually like if you can get like a team that's quite coordinated, working together, you can really burn the boss down. I deployed that without having any. That was really dumb. You can really burn them down just by forcing them to use their repair kits and then like just keeping them ineffective with like module damage. Oh, you don't do that to me. Don't push me off this hill. Don't you fucking dare. And so like I think that's something worth bearing in mind is always keep your eye on the enemy boss, because if they're low, tunnel them. Or if you see that they're taking a lot of abuse, you can really sort of put the hurt on them and the enemy team by just like keeping the pressure up. Our boss is like massively overextended. That's the issue in this scenario here. Yeah, don't overextend. We can't stay there as long as you can. I think that's do I have a shot into him? I did. It just didn't work. I've decided this tank might not be one of my favorites for big boss mode. Not having a tremendous amount of success, if we're being brutally honest. Hail the healer, hail the healer.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Their T-30's playing a good game. I think that also like speed is pretty important. And the T-30, I mean, it's not super slow, but it's also not terribly well armored. So, Just gotta keep the boss alive. Innit? I mean, we did very little in that game. We were an absolute handicap for our team. We were useless, shall we say. Oh, Panther 2. Right, one more, and then we'll check the final scores, and then it'll be the end of this. Mate. Oh, how am I not the boss in this one? Come on! Being a boss in a 3 versus 3. Who's our boss? KV4. Ooh, that's actually pretty good versus an ISU. 3 versus 3. What is this? I mean, I'd rather wait a couple of minutes than get thrown into a 3 versus 3. Oh no, don't be a... What are we up against enemy-wise? Tiger 2, T2020. It's like the supercharged shot from the ISU that's going to make me want to cry. Our T28 doesn't have any camo. That bodes really well. The 2 tanks are going to be... Oh, he's got a medic. Of course he does. Well, this could be a very interesting match. What's RT20? RT20 is a medic, okay. That's good. That's bad. That's very bad. Maybe if I could die and have another ability, that would be good. Maybe my wish will be sooner than I expected. Good. Yes, that's better. That's better. And we can get out of that bloody... I don't know what I'm doing in that heavy flank. In my only medium tank on the field. Maybe trying to insulate RT28 Prot. Oh god, this thing's so slow. This is a medium tank, is it not? Look at him just sat there, he doesn't know that I'm about to. He doesn't have a medic. Now's the time to go. He's a graviton, probably means that the Tiger 2 is a catalyst. I can kill him in one run. So what we'll do is we'll come up from behind him. Oh, you stupid gravity well. Oh, I think that might be him tapping out. That could be awkward. Oh no, he's a catalyst too. No.
Missionstreffer. Zum Glück ging's nicht hoch. Der ging nicht durch.
Man, this thing's penetration sucks. No, not our.
Wirkungstreffer. Eine unserer Ketten ist zerstört. Wir sitzen fest. Wir haben sie.
Gotcha.
Sie haben uns. Los.
This is truly a bizarre 3 versus 3. This is something that I think Wargaming need to, in terms of the big boss mode, what I think they need to fix is making sure that fail platoon, the lower tier fail platoon players, I mean actually I think Wargaming should get rid of fail platoons in general. But I think what Wargaming need to do, why am I the Graviton again, is make sure that at the very least
Wir haben sie nicht mal angekratzt.
is make sure at the very least that it can't be
Kritischer Treffer.
like in a tier 7-8 game if there's a
Noch so einer und die sind fertig.
tier 6 like a fail platoon player. It shouldn't be that
Gegner zerstört. Der ging nicht durch.
no.
Volltreffer. Wir haben sie.
That person should be the boss, and also I think if there's platoons, like the boss should be
Wir haben sie nicht mal
either
angekratzt.
in a platoon or not in a platoon. Like from both teams it should be equitable.
Wirkungstreffer.
He's dead.
Der ging voll durch ihre Panzerung. Das muss wehtun.
Oh, that sucks.
Wir haben sie voll erwischt. Wir haben sie. Noch so einer und die sind fertig. Kommandant verwundet. Volltreffer.
And I think as well, they need to have the boss in big boss mode should be from the same class. I mean, like this game, it's super in our favor, right? Because the KV4 is just like we're just going to the heavy flank. I mean, painful stuff. Was that the full time? Was that 9 minutes? 9 minutes of just blarg. Okay, very good. So let's just recap. All the group results are in. Super. And we can confirm that Imor beat Sparta So Amor have got one team through for sure, and one team probably going into the last chance round. Now I don't have I don't think anyone outside of Wargaming has the details yet for how the last chance tournament is going to be set up. But notionally, I would expect it to be the 7 third-place teams from today. I think that's pretty much the only fair way they could do it. And if you're going to do 7 teams, a round-robin system, like a best-of-3 round-robin. I don't know. Wargaming have got the work cut out for them because they've got to do something for next week for EU to fill the last 2 slots. Because certainly there's... I mean, I think Wargaming reserved the right to just invite whoever the hell they want from this tournament. But I'm not so sure there's a clear cut, like, who you would invite between, like, Demo, Fail, winners, the Amor second team, Till, MFG, and Dis. Like, it's not a super clear cut who you'd invite in either case. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been a bit of a long, meandering stream. We've been live now for just over 3 hours, but we saw some exceptional gameplay from Endgame. And with Raid out, for sure the top 3 teams, and BPS not contesting. I don't even know if BPS had a team. No. I don't know what happened actually. But for sure with Raid out, it's Loka, Endgame, and Jones are the top 3 contenders. Dark Horses outside of the top 3, probably Imor, Serenity. Imor's like, I mean, the team that's through. Imor, Serenity. Yeah, I would say Imor and Serenity are the 2 sort of dark horses. It's hard to imagine Hate, Sparta, Chise Raiders, even ZGS, First Alliance, Reti, Turks, Phoenix. I mean, these and Asp. These are all really good teams. Don't get me wrong, but I can't really sort of see any of those teams really giving those top 3, Loka, Jones, Endgame, a super tough run for their money. But I love to be surprised, and I live to see the underdog rise to the occasion, shall we say. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I am going to be streaming again this evening in just under 6 hours time. I'm going to be streaming NA. Will be following Battle Buddies, the Battle Buddies team from the Pramo clan, in their 3rd stage. So that should be a hoot. We'll have 10 more battle passes to give away. So if you if you really want if you really want to get a battle pass and you're not convinced you've got one from this evening, I'll get one of my mods to look through the chat and make sure that we're sort of picking the correct winners based on the contest. But if you haven't won one already, you can of course drop in and join the chat and the contest there. So thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you either later tonight for the North American stream, or week after next, when we duck into some of the games from the Money Blaster tournament, the Money Blaster final tournament. So that sort of top 16 teams on the EU server duking it out for their largest stake in a $10,000 prize pool, which is, on that note, really cool to see Wargaming upping the ante even just a little bit on these non-Twister, non-Blitz Cup majors. More money is good. So, without further ado, good night. See you in the next one. Bye for now.